Hi everyone and welcome back to this channel of crafting, crochet and knitting. My name is Nikki and as this video is being put out on the 1st of December, I can officially say Merry Christmas everyone! Yeah, it's going to be a very different Christmas this year. We are approaching the end of our second national lockdown, but the tier system is definitely stricter for a lot of people as they come out of that. So who knows what's going to happen. As it currently stands, we aren't supposed to see our families in person, so that does mean that getting the last Christmas presents to our families is not necessarily going to happen yet, but we don't know. The infection rates could come down and then we might be able to go and drop those presents off. But that's fine. We're not going to let that get us down. We have been baking. We've got loads of other baking planned. I've got crafting planned, as I said. So yeah, just check in with your friends and family. But we're doing this to stay safe. So what can you do? So yeah, I am going to be presenting today some Christmas crafting as opposed to crochet and knitting. Don't worry, the crochet and the knitting will be coming in the next video, but today I just wanted to show you guys some Christmas crafts I did last year that I am using again this year, and I hope that you enjoy them. So here we go. First one is Christmas crackers. So we wanted to kind of stop getting so much plastic waste from Christmas crackers. So Christmas crackers themselves actually have like a plasticky film on them, and then you get those plastic toys inside, and we just kind of thought this is a bit of a waste, and instead wanted to make our own. Now it's becoming a popular trend, so we have printed off a pattern onto some card and cut them out. This is something that obviously any age can do. And I would say though that if you've got really small kids, you might want to do like a flat edge cracker, because all of this sort of pointy ridge cutting was quite a lot of work, so kids who are less good with scissors maybe don't want to be doing something like that. But it is possible to do these bits if you fold them over and then cut out these triangles, so children can do that with scissors. A craft knife is maybe preferable for people who are old enough to use one because of the scoring. But it is totally okay to do this with kids. And this particular pattern has got 6 sides, and then a 7th line that will rest nicely underneath the first. So there is a little bit of glue or tape involved, but you can take that, when you're ready to throw these away, you can just take that tape off, and so the only waste is the tape and not the whole cracker. So it is preferable. And the final cracker, excuse all the rustling, looks like this. So ta-da! There we go. So here is the little join. So I just had to use double-sided tape because I didn't have any glue at the time. Got these lovely ribbons to hold this down, so there's no extra glue for this, just tie them up. And that's because these bits bend like that, literally like that. And so when it's in a circle, you can tie them with ribbon. Yeah, and so that was. Then you can just decorate it. This is just the plain cracker. Then you can decorate it up. We went for simple design, but you could print that off on white card and you can colour it. We just made some origami stars out of Christmas paper. And you see I've got a slightly different Christmassy ribbon on this one. I've got like a red, green and white Christmassy ribbon. This one I've got a gold ribbon. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes to decorating it, it's all down to personal taste. I've done another Christmas origami star on that one. And if you want to use the crackers, then you can put something like chocolate in, or you can print off your own jokes. You can get paper hats, depending on how much you want to put in them. You could use them as decoration. You can even get these cardboard snappers if you want the bang when they pop. If you have pets, you just don't need to include them. You can still use the cracker. So yeah, when it comes to making your own crackers, there's so much more versatility with what you put in them, what materials you make them with, how you decorate them. And I think that just means that it's becoming such a big trend right now. I certainly have really enjoyed it. I found it a really peaceful thing to do, something that I could do with friends, as last year was the case. Obviously not this year. Yeah, really recommend it. Really good family activity as well if you've got younger children. So that was great. The next thing I did is another biodegradable thing, and it is a Christmas wreath. So yeah, my mother-in-law came up with this idea. She found a bunch of twigs bound and woven into this wreath shape, collected pine cones, oranges, cloves, aniseed, star aniseed, cinnamon sticks, berries, and let us just add them at our will into the design. So absolutely loads of pine cones from the nearby forest, which are lovely. These lovely dried out oranges. And then as for the cinnamon and the aniseed and the cloves, oh my goodness, it still smells. This is a year old. It still smells lovely. The berries have lost their colour, unfortunately, but they're not rotten or anything. They're fine. And I'm still going to reuse this. If you did want to throw it away because you were going to make a new one, you could, because everything except for the glue is biodegradable. Really nice little Christmas decoration. We do have some Christmas decorations that I have bought in previous years, but a lot of the decorations we have are things that my parents were throwing away, and so I've saved them, and we have got some biodegradable stuff as well. So in this case, this thing here, absolutely loved making this. Smells amazing. And just a little bit of ribbon to hang it up with. So yeah, okay, put that down. The next thing that I am going to show you guys, I'm probably going to have to do this with photos, because angling the camera to show you them is going to be a nightmare. But my friend Soheb 3D printed a selection of baubles for me using a biodegradable plastic. And the reason I had to get him to 3D print these is because the design is a little bit specialist. I've said in a previous video how I am an astronomer, and what I really, really wanted was a bunch of planet baubles. So, the first one that I'm going to show you is, we're going to start in the centre of the solar system, and we're going to start with the sun, which should be on screen now. And we see the sun as this like massive yellowish ball in the sky. When you get closer to it, there is so much more texture on the sun than you would think from Earth, because it is a ball of gas. The gas is moving. You've kind of got these little globules of gas, and some of those are cooler than others, so you get these dark patches that were on the picture. So that was the sun. Moving on, we have on the screen Mercury. Mercury is a rocky planet, so I tried to get the greys to be sort of textured. There is actually, in the 3D printing of the sun and the 3D printing of Mercury and all the planets, there is actually texture 3D printed into it, so it was really easy to use as a guide for when I was painting them. So yeah, that's Mercury in its dusty grey rockiness. And then the next one on screen is Venus. Venus is, I painted Venus in this very sort of creamy colour as it is reflecting light. So Venus is a dangerous planet. If you try to travel to Venus, you are potentially going to die in 4 different ways. Venus is a very toxic place to be, and therefore it is also difficult to send machinery to Venus to get pictures of the surface. It has been done, but it is very difficult to design these things, and so I thought that the best thing to do with Venus was to paint it as you would see it, which is this massive thick atmosphere cloud layer around the planet, which reflects lots of the sunlight that hits it, hence this nice creamy colour. Now the next photo is the Earth and the Moon. I'm really proud of this one, so it's on screen now. This one was just like an amazing opportunity to paint. I struggled with the moon because trying to get the seas, the darker patches of the mare, the seas, like sea tranquility and stuff, they were difficult to try and position, and then to get some craters at the same time. But Earth was just incredible to paint. I absolutely loved doing that. We have so many different biomes on Earth, deserts and plains and forests and ice caps. It just meant that I could be really creative when painting it, and it's one of my favourites out of all the baubles. Next we have Mars on the screen. Mars is the red planet. It has these rusty reds and browns, but Mars also has ice caps too. They're not water ice caps like they are on Earth. They are in fact carbon dioxide ice caps on Mars. And if you look at them at different times of the year, during Mars's summer and winter, those ice caps are bigger and smaller respectively. So, next we have Jupiter. So, Jupiter again is one of my favourites that I painted. The texture on Jupiter was these nice lovely cloud bands that go around the planet, and then the red spot, which is a massive storm. So Jupiter and the following planets are gas giants. They have lots of clouds in their atmosphere, thick atmospheres, and these can be very turbulent and they can create storms. So that's what the red spot is. And yeah, again, painting Jupiter, absolutely loved it and loved the effect that has come out. I'm so proud of that one too. Next on the screen we have Saturn. As you can see, Saturn also has these cloud stripes around it, like Jupiter, but it also has the addition of the rings. The rings are not to scale. The rings of Saturn are far bigger than the ones on this bauble, but I think you'd pull the tree over if you attempted to put the rings of Saturn on the bauble. So we make do with what we've got. Really fun thing, if you actually Google pictures of the pole of Saturn, you will see this hexagon-shaped structure in the clouds. Really interesting. I encourage you to go and look that up. And then we have the last two. We have Uranus on the screen now in this green and blue colour for the methane gas, and then we have Neptune, which is also blue and has a storm blue spot, storm painted on there as well. Yes, we don't have Pluto. Pluto is a dwarf planet, so we just have these solar system, main solar system planets, plus the moon and the sun. Yeah, I just really wanted some specialist baubles for the tree, and really happy with how they came out. So that was a Christmas craft that I was doing last year. It was an opportunity to get my paints out. I have had hardly any time to get my paints out since I started university. I think the only times I've painted since I started university were my wedding decorations and then these baubles. So I really, really enjoyed it, and I just wish I had had some better practice, because I could have made them slightly better if I'd have been practicing more with my paints beforehand, but that's how it is. Those are my Christmas crafts that I've shared with you today. I hope you have enjoyed them. And please, if you have any questions about the science, I know that I wasn't really able to chat much about them. This is about crafting, not about science, but if you are interested, feel free to leave a comment down below. I will answer them, send you links where necessary, etc, etc. If you just want to show me pictures of your crafts, by all means, please do. Send me links to your various whatever social media platform that you put your pictures on, to send us a link in the comment down below. As I said in a previous video, YouTube doesn't let me share pictures, which is really annoying, but send links because I would love to see what you guys are making. And with that, I'm going to see you guys in the next episode, where I will return to some knitting and crochet related crafting for Christmas. See you soon. Bye.